I bought this 1970 Mustang from a dealership in Southern California that I found online, and when I finally got it to my house, it was not quite as advertised. Paint and body work had been something that looked really good from afar, but once you got close, you noticed there was a lot of flaws with it. Seatbelts didn't even work. The car ran, and that was about it. Unfortunately, the advertisement of a 351 Cleveland was also not accurate in the car. But I was determined to make this car mine, and I was determined to make it a resto mod that I would enjoy and my kids could enjoy. So I embarked, not being mechanically inclined myself, I decided to embark and find somebody that I could work with in envisioning what this could be. And I found a gentleman named Rick Tucker here in Las Vegas, Nevada, who owns Tucker Performance, who's very well known for redoing a lot of classic cars, Corvettes and other things at the high end. And I embarked on a 4.5-year journey with the gentleman to make this car the resto mod that I wanted to have. I will tell anybody who's looking to do, and it is much more expensive than you initially realize, and it takes a whole lot longer to do things right. It is not for the faint of heart. This 1970 has gone through a few modifications since we initially started off with it. Changed the engine out to a 428 Cobra jet. Originally we even fuel injected this car, but the computer system had a few problems with that, so we ended up going back to a carbureted system. I removed all the shock towers in the car. It has a special A suspension system in it, along with the 6-speed manual transmission. I spared no expense on this car. The paint and body work alone was a little over $60,000 just for that, and it took over a year to do. But when you are determined to do something and you have the funds to do it, it's worth every penny that you can do.
Okay,
yeah. The rims are offset 20s to 19s, 19 being the front, 20 they're custom made, they're custom milled, one piece. So you're not going to find another set like them. Everything on the car is one off. This actual steering wheel here is the world's only, it's a prototype, it's the only tilt wheel, Bluetooth capable steering wheel. I'm not a small guy and I needed something that could tilt up. This steering wheel and linkage system actually delayed the progress of the car by 8 months while the manufacturer could actually design this tilt wheel Bluetooth steering wheel for this car. Yeah, so the tilt here is something that didn't happen in the 1970 at all. It was always fixed. And the ignition system is a very light, as you can hear. It's a Bluetooth that actually turns in electronically over to the system. We modified it with the existing keys of the car, but it actually doesn't even need them. Besides the suspension, that's been completely modified. Everything from the straight piped exhaust all the way back through the, well, if you could see the underneath of the car, it's everything on this car is particularly custom. There is nothing on this car that would actually say original at this point, except the interior. I wanted the interior to look as original as possible. The only thing that's actually from the original part of the car is not only the air conditioner, but the gauges are the only thing that I had actually kept. The dash, everything else had to be replaced, but I wanted to keep the original look as much as possible, to try and have the best of both worlds. Have the original look of the car, but have the modern feel and reliability of today's technology. So I have a 2020 Shelby Cobra Mustang. So I got two cars, identical color, that are going to be 50 years apart, which was always a dream of mine as well. And I'll tell you that the Cobra Mustang is really fun to drive. But there is nothing like a manual transmission 1970 Mustang, in my opinion. You feel every piece of the road. You feel every bit of torque coming in and out of turns. I would put this against the fun of driving a Ferrari or anything else any day of the week. This, to me, is, if you have the money to put something like this together, it is by far the greatest experience you'll ever have. There is nothing quite like the feel of being able to shift through the gears in a classic car, feeling the weight of the car, feeling how it actually, the distribution of everything, and having the rear wheel slip just a bit, just enough to let you know that if you're not respectful of it, it's going to go sideways on you real quick. You know, they always say kind of go big or go home. I'm very comfortable with everything's now. I am interested in possibly upgrading the engine to a possibly twin turboing the engine if I really want to get stupid with it. But I'm going to keep it the way it is for right now. Maybe put a radio in here. There is no radio or speakers. That's probably the only additional mod I might add. But this isn't. This is a fun cruising car. It's not meant for any long hauls or anything else. I do have one additional one of these same 1970 cars with the convertible that I'm actually sending off to have done converted to all electric to try that out, just for fun. God, that's fun.